Hey everyone, I'm Rambles, and this is another unscripted ramble. I was never good at mathematics when I was at school. Math, whatever you want to call it. Um, so I kind of want to get better at it because it's slightly important. um, and obviously, I can get by with my bad maths, but wouldn't everything just be a lot better if I was better at it? So I'm working on my multiplication because um, uh, I only got I still like throughout like high school and everything I could never do my 7 times table or my 8 times table, um, which is like kind of embarrassing. I don't know. Oh God, yeah, I can do basic shit. I can do basic maths, but I am here at the age of 28, trying to learn, and I actually found something. And when I learned about it, my mind was like, and so it's called circle multiplication, and it's a technique used to teach children in these very hippy trippy schools called Waldorf schools or Steiner schools. And basically, you have a circle with digits around it. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you draw a shape in it. And that shape shows you how to multiply like that number and get the answer. And yeah, it's crazy. I'll show you what they are. These are these are what I've got. Yes, I know one of them is a pentagram. This is quite funny, but like, clickbait title: How Satan Helped Me Learn Maths. Uh, but yeah, so we'll go for this one up here right now. So this is for your 2's times table and your 8's times table. So basically, you'll see here that the digits are 0, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. And so for your 2's times table, if you're wanting to calculate it, then you start here and you go around clockwise. So you have 0 times 2 is 2. No, keeping that in. Keeping that in, oh my god. So 0 times 2 is 0. Right, and then 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 5 times 2 is 10. And 10 ends in a 0. And then 6 times 2 is 12, ends in a 2. 7 times 2 is 14, ends in a 4. Right? And then 8 times 2 is 16, ends in a 6. 9 times 2 is 18, ends in an 8. And then 10 times 2 is 20, ends in a 0. And this pattern just repeats ad nauseum into infinity. And all numbers have some kind of pattern like this. Some of them are more complicated than others, like 3 and 7 is horrific. But I can't believe that this is how simple multiplication is. Like, why didn't they teach me this in school? Why did I have to learn it on the internet from, like, I don't know, something? Because, like, I don't know, we just had to learn multiplication as, like, rote memory. Like, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. You know, that kind of rubbish. You have these CDs that you have to like listen to until it drilled into your head. Whereas like this is so much like better, because you actually understand why that is the answer. The reason is that there is a pattern for them. Like, oh my god, I wish I had learned this like 20 years ago. Why couldn't they have taught me this 20 years ago? Oh, it would have made my life so much easier, and I wouldn't have sucked in maths class. Like, when I got to high school, I just found it very difficult, and I ended up getting, like, pushed down a grade, and then getting put up a grade, and then put down a grade for maths, which did great wonders for my self-confidence. Like, I didn't feel inferior and absolutely rubbish at everything at all. I definitely didn't do the cringy teenager thing and self-diagnose myself with dyscalculia, whatever it's called.
Dyscalculia.
Diagnosing myself with mental conditions that are, and learning difficulties which I do not fully understand, because that's how teenagers and young adults work. Oh my god. Yeah, but like, if I'd known this, it would have been so much easier. Anyway, so like, if I know that, I'll just stick with 2s because that's what we're doing for this video. But like, if I'd known it, it would be so much easier, because then we stick with that, like, you know, times 2. So 10 is 20, and then I can know, I'm not looking at it, but I know the pattern is going to be 11 is 22, 12 is 24, 13 is 26, 14 is 28, 15 is 30, 16 must be 32, then 17 is 34, then 18 is 36, and then 19 is 38, and then 20 is 40. Like, and I know that because it's just a pattern, you just repeat it. But like, let's do it with the 6 times table. Okay, so it goes 0, 6, 2, 8, 4, 0. Well, actually, no, let's not do that one. Let's do the 8s, because the 8s times table, one of them that I couldn't do at all, is just the reverse of the 2s, right? So 8 times table, instead of going 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, it goes 0, 8, 4, 6, no, that's wrong, 0, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. So, loaded, I haven't practiced this, and I could not do my 8 times table at all. So let me see if I can actually do this thing that I've not been able to do for 20 odd years. Okay, so I'm not looking at it. It might look like I'm looking down, but like it's blocked by my muzzle. I can't actually see the paper. Move it out of the way. Okay, so 0 times 8, 0. And then 1 is 8, 2, 16, 3, 24, 5, 5 must be 30, hang on, 32, then 6, no, hang on, that can't be right. It might be right. Hang on, I'm going to do it again. My brain wasn't working. Okay. 8, so 1, 8, 2, 16, 3, 24, 4, okay, that's where it was. 4 is 32, and then 5 is 40, that makes sense. Then 6 times 8 is 48. And 7 times 8 would be 56. And then 9 times 8 would be 64. Oh, sorry, 8 times 8 would be 64. And then 9 times 8 would be 72. And then 10 times 8 is 80. Did I do that right? I think that must be right, because the pattern works out. It's just difficult for me to keep track of, like, the tens number increasing at the same time. So I'm getting kind of a bit like, whoa, thrown off. I was never good at mental maths. But if I practice this, then I should be better at it. But, like, that's insane. Like, if you want to learn this, if you struggle with multiplication, like, look up circle multiplication by the Waldorf school or Steiner schools. Like, this shit's impressive. So yeah, I just thought I'd randomly mention this thing that I found out solve my problems, because like I'm generally more of a humanities guy than a STEM guy. I fully admit I am terrible when it comes to computers and mathematics and like sciencey stuff. I'm just not great at it. But if I can see something where it's like some kind of logic to it, then I like that. And I feel like, oh, I could actually learn this if I took the time to practice it every day, the same way that I practice my languages, or I practiced drawing and painting back in the day. Like, I think I could get decent at it, where it's not painful to think about. I'm just over the moon that there's some kind of logic, and I actually understand now when you have like math geeks, you know, mathematicians and stuff, and they're like, oh, this equation is beautiful, and I'm like, how is it beautiful? It's like a bunch of words on the screen. I don't get it. I get it now, because the fact that there's just this repeating pattern that it will always be, like, that's kind of beautiful in a very different way from aesthetics. It's more like logical beauty. There's beauty in the simplicity of the logic that exists in multiplication. Never thought I'd say that in my life.